Hey, senior trippers, it's Bobby Boomer here, and I am with Bill. We are in the Symphony of the Seas. And Bill, you won't believe this, but he cruises to commute to work. That's right. His commuter vehicle is a cruise ship. He gets on it and he visits customers and he gets back on it and goes home. So we're going to interview Bill. We're going to talk about his strange life. Stay tuned. This is Bobby Boomer. We are with Bill. Bill, you have a strange life, I'm telling you. So, just tell me a little bit about your background, where you live, what you do.
I live in the west coast of Florida now. Spent some time in the Keys, and about 2008, when the economy, I'd always worked in the lumber building material industry, and when the economy collapsed, I thought, I'm going to starve to death. Well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it in the sunshine. So I decided to start going to the Caribbean and seeing if I could make a living selling building materials there, and it took off. It went from a really neat hobby to a really nice business.
So I get that, but don't most people who do what you do or do what you want to do get on an airplane and fly?
They do, and originally we started cruising out of necessity because we didn't have two dimes to put together. Flight to Nassau was $500. A cruise was $500, and that included food and room. So we started doing that. And then we started flying and learned very quickly that Caribbean Airlines never fly on time. So
Really?
I couldn't set appointments. I missed appointments. And I'm like, well, the cruise ships are always on time. So,
yeah.
And we can hit the advantages. We'll hit multiple islands. So I can take a week and get 4 or 5 good days of work in, as opposed to if I was flying fly to Nassau, fly back to Miami, fly down to St. Kitts, fly back to Miami. So this has been it's been great. It's been absolutely outstanding.
Now, has any of your friends or anybody in the office go, yeah, right, Bill?
All the time. I get that all the time. Yeah, no, he's not working. The only evidence I have to point that out is every year when I file my taxes, it's been pretty lucrative. So somebody's working.
Wow. So, do you ever find that you need more time in a port? Like, gee, we're only there 6 hours. I really need 2 days.
We are starting to learn that in Nassau. A good portion of our business is in Nassau, and we probably made the decision this year that we can't cruise there anymore. We've got to fly and spend multiple days. But Nassau is the exception. The rest of the islands, I seem to have enough time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I don't live in Florida, excuse me, but aren't there ferries that go to Nassau?
Yeah, there's some fast ferries that go. Again, we've never been able to take advantage of that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you ever missed a ship? Been too late at an appointment?
I did. I had a flat tire in St. Kitts, and I had to fly to Puerto Rico to rejoin the cruise.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you ever intentionally missed it? Like you wanted to do more business in an island, so you said, I'm staying overnight here.
No, but we did have an experience where when my business partner and I were traveling together, we had very little business in Freeport. The cruise was hitting Freeport and Nassau. So we got off the ship in Freeport, flew to Nassau, worked the extra half day, and then rejoined the cruise. So, and that was an experience because, I mean, the guest services people had no idea how to handle that.
Oh, yeah. So
they finally agreed to allow us to do it at the last minute. So we weren't sure what we were going to be able to do.
So you told them you're doing that?
Yeah. We told them we were going to play golf in Nassau.
Any downsides? Is there anything you found that, gee, I wish I could change this, or I don't like this part of it, or?
Sea days. I don't particularly enjoy sea days, and only because, for me, you try to work, but there's just too many distractions. Yeah.
You're obviously a thin guy. If I did what you did and cruise as much as you, I would need a new liver. I would need to go on a diet.
Well, that's an interesting story because I lost 70 pounds this year. So
good for you.
And I have been taking advantage of the gym on the cruise ships now. So
good for you. Yeah, that's great. Do you find any favorite things that you like to do? Like you hate the main dining room, I like Windjammer or things like that?
It's difficult because I travel alone most of the time, and I'm not big about eating by myself. So I'll eat what I can. I mean, most people come on the cruises for the food. It doesn't do anything for me.
I just had breakfast in the Windjammer. It was packed.
Yeah.
Wow.
My favorite thing to do though is obviously meeting people. I really enjoy meeting people, and it's always a little bit nerve wracking when you get on a ship and you're like, boy, I hope I meet somebody interesting because this could be a long week. And I've had that where I didn't meet them. It's great when you get to spend some time with some people you enjoy talking to.
Yeah. You get to spend a week with them, right?
You get to spend a week with them. And that's the other thing that we learned was, if you fly down to the Caribbean and you stay in a hotel, the people are changing constantly. Here, you meet somebody that you enjoy talking to, you got their attention for a week.
Wow. So we're on the Symphony of the Seas, and I've noticed the new internet is fantastic. You must love that.
It is, yeah. Royal has the best internet.
Wow.
And yeah, that can be tough because I've been on some ships where I absolutely had to get work done and the internet was horrible.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So do you find yourself sending emails to staff, like just to let them know you're really working and not in the casino?
That's a secret. You can't tell that one.
It was just sort of, you stumbled on this as just sort of a solution to a problem.
It was economic necessity. I mean, it was literally, we were financing the first $400 trip. Yeah, no, it's
okay.
Yeah. And the added advantage is, too, that you get on the ship, you unpack, and you're good for a week, as opposed to living out of a suitcase and moving around.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's why my wife and I like cruising.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't like it. We like unpacking. We're there for a week.
Mm-hmm.
What we don't like is we hit an island or somewhere and we go, we really like this. We'd like to spend 3-4 days there, but you got to get back on the ship and leave.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's the downside. But yeah, we like unpacking.
Yeah.
We've gone on some vacations where you're 2 days here and 2 days here and on and off trains and planes.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, good for you. Wow. Do you see this continuing for you? Any?
I hope so. The biggest fear is that we end up with some islands like Nassau where the cruise just no longer works for us. But
yeah.
I'm going to make it work as long as I can.
So do you find yourself on the same ships a lot with the same crews? You meet people?
Well, for me, it's about what island I need to be on any particular day. So sticking with cruise lines is tough. Sticking with ships is tough. But they do repeat their itinerary, so you're...
Okay.
And as far as meeting people, it's always interesting because after doing this for 14, 15 years, you start to meet the same people on the ship, and that's always special. If you've enjoyed talking to someone, and if you enjoyed spending time with them, and then you find out they're on the ship again.
Yeah.
Now the opposite's true too. If you find out that you can't get along with somebody and they're there, you're like, oh no.
Oh yeah. I bet you know the rental car people on the island.
Oh, they're great. They're great. They're absolutely great people. Yeah.
So I don't know if we talked about this, but you don't have to share exactly what your product is. But what line of work?
We do, because the islands have nothing. We do virtually everything that goes into new home construction, and our typical client is on the extreme upper end of residential construction. They're expatriates building very, very expensive homes. So we do everything.
Okay, good for you. Wow. Well, Bill, it's fascinating what you do. And then when I met you and you told me what you did, I said, what? And you said, I'm here working. I said, so you work for Royal Caribbean? No, I'm here working. Like, what do you mean? He said, well, I'm going to get off in St. Martin and I'm going to rent a car and go visit customers. And then I'm going to come back. And when we get to St. Thomas the next day, I'm going to do the same thing again. I said, wow.
I think I shared this story with you, but it's a funny one. I was talking to a person and I telling them what I did. And they said, that's funny because about a month ago, I met a guy who does exactly the same thing you do. I said, it's my business partner.
Wow. Well, the cruise ships must love you, the cruise lines. You'll be pinnacle before you know it, if you're not already.
And that's a funny one, too. If we were going to, we laugh about this all the time, if we were going to book 24 rooms on one ship, they would bend over backwards to take care of us. But they have no way of dealing with, we want to book 24 cruises for a year with one room. Oh. So there's no real special deals or no...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you book the cruises yourself or do you have a travel agent?
I use American Express. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Well, Bill, it's great talking to you. It's just
enjoyed it.
Fascinating story.
I've enjoyed it.
And I hope the viewers at seniortrippers.com will like your story too. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All righty.